Hey, beloveds, and happy Thursday. I wanted to take a moment to tune in and turn on with you and see how you're doing. Happy September. We can definitely feel the shifts of energy now that we are out of August. August felt so big, all that lion energy, lots of different shifts and different powers, right? A lot, and then we went a lot into those retrogrades. And so now September is almost like a breath of fresh air. But guess what? We're not out of it yet. We're not out of it yet. In fact, things are just starting to intensify, and we can feel that with the upcoming new moon we have coming up on Monday. And with this energy, this Virgo energy, hello, beloved, thanks so much for tuning in. So we are definitely feeling that. And so this is why I came out. Hey, beloved sister Araba, thanks so much for tuning in. I see you, Serena. So, the energies now that we're feeling that have come in is really about us wanting to go within. Let me tell you, this Cancer energy is huge. I had to cover my crown today because the solar flares, the Cancer moon was hitting right at the crown of my head. Are you guys feeling it? Are you feeling the solar flares? Now that we shifted into September, our crowns are being affected. Our thoughts are being affected. Why? Because it's time for us to look at our emotions. It's time for us to really examine not our thoughts, but how are we feeling? And one of the ways that I know, and this is very controversial, and I talk about this and people get all upset, and you know what? I'm here for it because I know that this is true. When we think of ourselves, we think of ourselves as human beings, right? But we are actually mammals, and so we share that commonality with animals. How do animals hunt? How do animals survive? How do animals stay alive in the world? By their instinct, not their empathy. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about empathy and intuition. So many people, and now here we go, here's the controversy. So many people are, call themselves empaths. But empath is not a gift, it is a feeling. Animals don't survive on empathy, do they? They survive on instinct. Instinct is a sense. Instinct is more than a feeling, it is a knowing. And so that's why they could say, I know it in my bones, I feel it in my gut. We don't have words like that for empathy. Empathy means to feel towards another one, compassion, sympathy. So empathy is a feeling. And so people who are empaths or say that they're empaths, what they're really saying is, I'm picking up on your feelings and I'm telling you what this means. I'm picking up on your feelings, right? And so when you're picking up on somebody's feelings without their permission, that's not intuitive. Many people ask me, how do I read? Do you see this leaf? I can't fight with this leaf, so I'm just gonna let her join. She obviously wants to be a part of the live today. So, when people are saying, oh, I'm an empath and all of this and that, what they're really saying is, I'm hooking in, I'm touching into other people's feelings. Most of us don't want other people knowing our feelings. And so our instincts, our intuition, that is a gift. And this is why we all have intuition. Some of us have a higher sense of intuition and some of us have a lower sense. But guess what? We all have it. And when we allow ourselves to not only understand it, to understand it, to acknowledge it and to awaken it within ourselves, that not only supports our life, our livelihood, our prosperity, our life's decisions. Empathy doesn't support anything in our life other than a feeling for others. So for instance, we did survive a hurricane on Saturday, and there have been lives lost, homes lost. Hey beloved, thanks so much for tuning in. And all of that. And so I feel empathy. I feel empathy for the plants. I feel empathy for the animals. But guess what? Many of those animals survived not by empathy, they survived by instinct. And so we have to start looking at, what we say, what we are. And like I said, I know it's very controversial because so many people call themselves empaths. But guess what, beloved? We all are. We're all empathetic. That is a part of our human experience. Animals don't have empathy. This is a part of being human. And so, because we can feel, so many people ask, do animals feel? We can see that they do. Why? Not by empathy, but by instinct. We know. They look at our eyes, they feel our energy, our senses. If our senses, I'm gonna hurt you, the animal picks up on that and runs. Just like a dog, right? They say dogs can smell fear. They're using a sense. They're not using empath. They're not using a feeling. They're connecting to their senses. And so be mindful when people are telling you that they are empath. And I'm not trying to judge anyone. That's not what I'm saying here. But I do want you to recognize that empathy, an empath, is someone who is just reading your feelings. Psychic, a medium, an intuitive is connecting to your senses, which is why in my work, when I share with people what I'm sensing for them, it is, I just said it, I'm sensing for them. I get visuals, I get smells, I hear sounds, I connect to energies. That is what makes me intuitive and psychic. And the medium part is being able to listen and speak to spirits. But again, that comes all through the senses. It doesn't come through this mind. It comes through this mind that is the light being self, not this lifetime of Tanya, but the lifeline of spirit. And so I wanted to just let you sit with that, because we're going to be coming up against that all month of September. Why? It's a highly intuitive month, and we started it in Cancer. And and again, being a triple Cancer, I had to cover my crown. I rarely get headaches, except when there's a strong Cancer vibe and solar flares. And so I had to cover my crown. So have you been feeling it at the top of your head today? This is because the solar flares and that Cancer vibe is really asking us to look deeper into our emotions, to dive into the darkness and see what jewels come up. And so I'm inviting you, beloveds, to tune in and turn on, because when you tune in, what you're tuning into, you're closing these eyes and listening to this. So you're tuning in. And when you turn on, what you're saying is, I'm turning on my senses. You're not turning on your empathy. And so I'll be sharing something very special. So get ready. And if you aren't a part of our community, please join today, because we've got some big things coming up for you here in September. So stay tuned and make sure that you are in the know and don't miss a thing. All the links are in our bio. You can join Tanya's House of Tarot. That is our Facebook community. And we'll be making some special announcements in there as well. So happy September, beloveds. We've got lots to do. And the reason it's the #1 time of back to school, this is the time of our harvest. This is the time when we've harvested all that we've learned all these past 8 months. And now this is the time we start to reap the fruit. So this is why we go back to school at this time. And so I'll be sharing with you how you can go back to school with yourself as well. So stay tuned. We've got some good stuff coming for you, and you don't want to miss it, beloveds. And I want to shout out my beloved daughter and only child and business partner and best friend, Miana Melendez. So if you don't follow her, follow her. She is going to be a certified life coach. And so how amazing is it that my one and only daughter is going to follow in my footsteps? Do you know how profound that feels as a mother, as a friend, as a woman, as a person, when your children are so encouraged and inspired by what you do that they want to do it too? And I would have never ever thought that we would work in that way together, but here we are, beloveds. And so this is what I'm talking about. If you're feeling that urge to learn something new, to shed an old skin, you're right in alignment. So I can't wait to tune in and turn on with you some more. So make sure you sign up so you don't miss a thing. And until next time, beloved, know that you are the light, you are the love, and oh so blessed. Namaste.